Hey folks, I'm here. So recently I've had probably about 15 people send me the same link to a person ranting about property and crypto, and and I still keep getting messages going, what do you think of this, Simon? What do you think of this? And the thing is, I didn't really want to make this video, but I thought we can turn this into an educational video. So for context, please, I'm not trying to start a feud with anyone. I've blanked out the face of the video of this person. This person is a property person. I don't know him. I've met him once, and he was a perfectly polite and pleasant chap. From what I know of him, he is a really nice guy. He knows his stuff in the property world. He's got property books, etc. So I'm not discrediting any of that. He is a good property educator type person. I don't know him. However, when people spread absolute mistruths and ignorance and naivety about crypto, especially to a very large audience that he has, I think it does a lot of damage to something which is coming anyway, and he's going to end up in crypto whether he likes it or not. Just like a whole bunch of people hated the internet when it was coming around. And guess what? They were forced into the internet whether they liked it or not, and this is exactly the case. So I'm going to play this video, and then I'm going to pause it, and then give my 2 pennies worth. So I've blanked out all names and stuff like that because, again, I don't want to send any hate his way. So this is purely an educational video.
About property investing versus cryptocurrencies. Crypto, everybody and anybody is going on about cryptocurrency right now. Crypto this, crypto that, blah blah blah, cryptocurrency, and they've moved away from all of the things that have been tried, tested, and proven for generations, for
Really? What?
hundreds of years, thousands of years. So, are you a cryptocurrency lover? Are you a property investor lover? Which one is best for you to invest in? Which one should you be investing in? Well, for me, property every single time.
First of all, it shouldn't be either or. It should be both. So here's one thing that I see with a lot of people, property people or business people or trading people. They're like, this is the only thing you should do, and just do that, nothing else. No, we're in the wealth generation game. So yeah, I'll talk about wealth generation at the end actually. But yeah, it shouldn't be either or. It should be both, potentially.
Property. Cryptocurrency, if you like it, come on here and give me why. But here's the thing I'll tell you about property versus crypto. Property investing has been around for thousands of years. Yep. People need homes. Every single person on this planet, right, they aspire to have a home, whether that be a rental home, whether that be an owned home, they aspire to be a home.
Yep.
What do we know about property? Right, the richest people on this planet have either made their money in property or they invest their money in...
No. First big doo-doo. If you look at the Forbes 100 and look at all of the wealth, or nearly like over 90% of that wealth has come from businesses. Business is the primary wealth driver or generator for billionaires out there. What happens when you look at monetary history, people become rich through their activities, whether it's supporting governments during war back in the old days or factories or whatever. It's always business. They make huge amounts of wealth, and what do? They have tended in the past to harbour their wealth in land and property, mainly land, not property. Property comes and goes, but land remains. So this is a big misconception. People don't make huge amounts of wealth from property. Yeah, a few people have done, but it's business. And if you're in the game of building properties and whatever, you're actually in business, not property. Properties are the widgets within your business. But look at the Forbes 100. Look at all the billionaires, millionaires out there. It's business, not property.
To property. Right now in the marketplace, what's happened? Cryptocurrency is going up, it's going down, it's going up, it's going down, it's all...
Look at the bigger time frame, you'll see it's up.
all over the place. It is fluctuating ridiculously.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
You can get in, you could make some money. You could get in, you could lose a fortune. You are gambling.
You can do exactly the same with property, my friend. And yeah, to be fair, a lot of I guess most crypto dabblers on the market right now, most crypto people are gamblers. They're not applying any statistical any statistics to their investing. They have no idea about risk of ruin, what drawdown is, what your Sharpe ratio is, all the other types of things. So and they have no idea about expectancy. Gambling and trading is there's a very thin line, and when you have positive expectancy within your portfolio, you have maths on your side. You are guaranteed to make money. So yeah, I guess most people are gambling.
Gambling with crypto, you buy some crypto. What coin do you buy? There's new coins every day. There's ICOs every day. There's new shit happening every day. Some of the coins are here today, gone tomorrow. What coin do you invest into? Which coin do you look at? It's impossible to know what crypto coin to get.
It's impossible to know what crypto coin to get if you know nothing about crypto. Just like it's impossible to know which house to buy, what type of house to buy, whether you do rent to rent or service accommodation or buy to let, or you're flipping houses or HMOs. Yeah, it's impossible to know which one to do, which house, and what strategy to do if you know nothing about property, or if you know nothing about crypto, or if you know nothing about trading. It's impossible to know what car to buy if you don't know what your desires are, what your you can say that about anything if you have zero knowledge of something. Silly.
So what one do you do? Which one do you buy? Which one do you not buy? Impossible.
Not
With
impossible.
property, you have got a tried, tested, and proven model. You've got something that has been around for generations. With crypto...
Sorry, I'm just going to have to take a minute here. My brain is exploding. I don't want to make this too long a video. Okay.
You invest in cryptocurrency, you get some crypto, you could put £1,000 in, you could put £10,000 in, you could put 100 grand in. If you put 100 grand into crypto, you get 100 grand's worth of crypto. If you put 100 grand into property, you can leverage banks' money.
Okay, you can leverage crypto money. You can leverage any amount of leverage you want with crypto, depending on what platform you go to. Not that leverage is a good thing. Leverage is a double-edged sword, and the sharper edge of that sword is the one that bites you. Just like property, you can get 100% mortgage if you want, or back in the day, you could get 110% mortgage. Doesn't mean leverage is good, but yeah, you can get leverage in crypto just like you can property. Again, lack of knowledge.
55% of for deposits, 75% banks money on a buy-to-let property, so you can get 400 grand's worth of property for your 100 grand investment. Not only that,
you can get 100% leverage, 100 times leverage with cryptos if you wanted to. Again, leverage is not good if you don't know how to use it.
the last time I checked, you're not able to refurbish a crypto. You're not able to add value to a crypto. You can take a property, you can paint it, decorate it, put a new kitchen in, put a new bathroom in. You can add value to the property.
Crypto does it itself. The main value of crypto, every crypto has its thing. You know, Cardano may be a new smart contract DApp platform. Filecoin may be a data storage and decentralization platform. They all have their little things, but forget all of that. The real value, the primary value for all cryptos is network value, and i.e. more users that use it, the more value it has. That is the value of crypto, just like the internet. The reason the internet is so valuable is because it's got roughly 3 billion people using it. Let's take Wikipedia. Wikipedia has value because it's got X amount. Let's take Wikipedia. You and I could create a script to just copy and paste the whole of Wikipedia. Okay, let's call it Siampedia. I could literally copy everything in Wikipedia, but would it have any value? No. One, it would have no eyeballs on it, only me that's looking at it. It has no contributors, it has no backlinks pointing to it. It doesn't have the ecosystem and community around Wikipedia. And so that's what crypto is. It's like a fax machine. Okay, one more analogy. If you have one fax machine, it has 0 value. You have 2 fax machines, it has some value. You have 3 fax machines, it has even more value. And every time a new node comes on, all of those nodes are interconnected, and therefore that's what network value is. It goes up. And so crypto is the fastest growing network in human history, as in core infrastructure network. A lot of people think the internet was the fastest, but it isn't. It took roughly 35 years for the internet to get 100 million users. 35 years, or no, 30 to 35 years for the internet to get 100 million users. Crypto's done that in under 10 years, and it's expected to get 4 billion users by 2025. So it's network effect, just like Facebook. Facebook's not valuable if it has 2 people on it, but because it's got a couple of billion people on it, it's the world's biggest country. You know,
can increase the value of that property. You're not gambling with property. You've got a tried, tested and proven model. You can get grants with property.
You can get grants with crypto.
You can get government funding with property. There's loads.
No government funding with crypto yet.
Of ability. And what do we know? Right, you can rent that property out and you can get an income from that property. With cryptocurrency,
what's the yield, my friend? What's the yield? It's pants. If you have it in your personal, if you're doing buy-to-lets in your personal name, you've got Section 24, so you're taxed on the whole revenue, not the profit. I know pretty much every single person I know that has a buy-to-let portfolio in their personal name. Their net yield is between 1% and 3%. So those that are doing better are those that have their property portfolio within a company. So you're taxed differently. But still, what is the net yield of buy-to-lets? What is the net yield of service accommodation? It's not as good as people think. It's sub 20%, and you're going to be lucky to have a property a cash flowing portfolio where it's giving you 20% a year. Most people I know, and by the way, I know a lot of property people. Most people would say that their net yield after tax and everything is close to 3 to 12% on the whole. And obviously, with any data sample, you're going to get outliers. You're going to get people that are negative, and you're going to get some people that are double digits maybe. So, but on the whole, the yield with properties is piss poor compared to other things.
You invest in
and I'll talk about what the other things are later.
the crypto. When do you get the money back? When you sell. It makes you nothing until you sell.
Again, pure naive ignorance here. You can stake your cryptos. There's many amounts of cryptos which you can stake and you get cash flow. I'll show you my portfolio right now. So here, one of my portfolios. I've got several. This is my staking portfolio. So let's have a look at this. So I've got a whole bunch of different stakers here. I've got more to add, but this... So I've got a little script here. It just pulls in the live price. So let's have a look over here. So this is how much I've staked. So let's take ADA. I've got 31,000 roughly ADA staked. The total value of all of that ADA is 77k. And what is the APY? It's getting me a cash flow of 7.79%. But the beauty of it is that the cash flow I'm given is in the form of ADA. So I'm getting roughly 203 ADA per month. And therefore the yield, if you were to convert that into dollars, is $505 dollars per month. Now let's look at the whole portfolio. So I put $130k, $1,000 in to get this whole portfolio back in around January time. A more recent one has been Radium, which was not in January, but the whole total cost of it all, 130k. Now since January, my whole Kryptonian portfolio has gone up between 700 to 900% across the different pots. This particular pot, if you look over here, has gone up 212% since January. And so it's gone from 130k to 408k. Find a property that's done that. And not only that, it's giving out a yield, and this yield is increasing. So at the moment, this whole pot is chucking out £3,500 per month, or $4,800 per month. So the nominal yield, if you were to take basically this 4,800 divided by the collateral right now, it's a nominal yield of 14.32%. But don't forget, I only put 130k in, and it's getting £3,500 a month. So, 4,800 a month. So my real net yield is 32.3%. So here is the beauty of it. This yield is only going to increase. Your property will not do that. I'm living in a £2.5 million mansion right now, and I'm only paying £3,000 per month in rent. What is the net yield on this whole house? It's pathetic. I even told my landlord that you should put the prices up. And so when you're letting your house out, you're going to get a renter. you're stuck with that cash flow for the term of that investment. Whereas when you're staking crypto, it goes up. So let's say, let's take Polkadot over here. The price right now is $35. I'm making $867 a month from Polkadot, and I've got 24 Polkadot per month coming in. Now, if I'm correct, by the end of the year, Polkadot should be hitting $100. So $100 times, where is my yield? 24, 21. So 24, 21. Let's get a calculator out there. Times 24, 21 equals $2,421. So the yield, as in my cash flow, is going to increase, and this will be per month. And if I'm correct, over the next 3 years, we should see $300 dot. Anyway, but right now, it's making great yield. I mean, just dot alone. I mean, yeah. So, in fact, I've got a physical portfolio here. Here's the actual tracker of this staking portfolio. 130k total costs with that one, 407. Yeah. So if you look at Polkadot, I mean, just take Polkadot alone, it's gone up 300 and something percent. So yeah. So let's carry on. So here's the thing. My cash flow is only going to increase. So, whereas your property cash flow will not. You are limited. You are capped.
And what do? You're in there and it's going up, it's going down. You're not sleeping. You're losing your hair. You've got no idea.
Have you lost hair because you've got tenants?
What it's going to be worth when you sell it. You've got no idea if cryptocurrency is even going to be around when you sell it. What do people say?
It will. If you're dicking around with shitcoins, yeah, you're playing with fire. If you're dicking around with blue chip companies or cryptos, it's going to be around a long time. I used the example the other day. Let's take BP. People think, investing in BP, massive oil company, it's really safe. BP has a market cap of $65 billion. Pretty big. Let's look at coin market cap. If BP were a crypto, it would only be the 6th biggest crypto out there. Just. Bitcoin is a $900 billion entity. BP, Dutch, Shell, Vodafone, all of these companies, all of these massive blue chip companies that you can think of, have a far higher risk of going to zero than Bitcoin. Network value is gone past critical mass, and so there's, I would say, less than 1% chance of this going to zero. A solar flare is the only thing that is going to hurt Bitcoin, and if that happens, the whole financial world is screwed anyway. So, yeah.
When they talk about how much crypto they have, what do they talk about? They talk about it being going to replace, crypto is going to replace the fiat currency. It's going to replace the fiat currency. And then they explain how much currency they've got in crypto by calling it pounds or dollars. They call it pounds or dollars. Is that really going to replace the fiat currency?
Do you talk about your wealth in terms of how many tenants you have? Or, sorry, I just had some Gillian chocolates. Oh, I love Gillian. Do you talk about your whole portfolio in terms of tenants you have, or how many heaters in your house you have, or how many houses you have? No, you don't, because people won't understand. Let's say you're trying to say, show someone how rich you are. Oh yeah, I've got 12 properties. Well, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't mean anything. Do you have 12, massive complexes, or do you have 12, 50k houses up north? The reason people don't talk about their whole, or in fact, the people in the crypto world, we do talk about our portfolio in terms of Bitcoin value, because that's what you're trying to gather. You're trying to gather those satoshis. But to the average Joe, yeah, I can. If I wanted to show people my staking pot, yeah, there's $408,000 or £295,000 worth. That's just because it's just easier. But I don't. But in the crypto world, and it's just give it a matter. Just wait. Give it 10 years, more things will be priced in Bitcoin or a stable coin of some sort. This is a silly point though.
Property investing is tried, tested and proven. I have made my money in property, and there's some huge opportunities out there right now in property. And tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. I'm doing a live online coaching where I will be sharing with you exactly what is working.
I'm thinking he's making this rather sensationalized because, you know, it's like clickbait for his training. Maybe, I don't know.
In property right now. 7 unique opportunities that you can use right now to make money in property. So make sure you join me. I'm going to put a link below this video when I'm done. Make sure you join me on that tomorrow evening, absolutely free. I'm going to show you why property investing is the thing to do in 2021 and beyond. So join us tomorrow evening, property versus crypto. Let's have a look, right? Let's have a look, deep dive tomorrow evening of the
It shouldn't be either or, as I said. It should be both. You can do a blend of it. So, okay, let's take my staking pot, so to speak. No, in fact, let's just ignore all the you know, all the different cryptos I have. Let's just take a really bog standard, really safe one. Let's take Polkadot. Okay, you can do a blend of stuff. So let's say you have $100,000. Okay, and you wanted cash flow from this. So you go out and buy Polkadot. So Polkadot right now is 35.85. So let's just write this down here. So 35.85. So if I was to buy $100,000 worth of Polkadot, 35.85, I'm going to sit there on 2,789, 2,789 Polkadot. Right? Now, obviously, you can do examples, you know, go and buy a $100,000 house and see what rent you'll get from that, yada, yada. It's going to be pathetic compared to what I'm about to show you. So, here's the thing. You can, you know, stake that on Kraken or whatever, and you can make 12%, or you can do it manually, make 13.79% yield. But let's just use the low one. So what this means is that you're going to be getting that times 1.12312 minus the 2,789. You're going to be getting 335, just round it down, Polkadot per year, which divided by 12 is 2792. 2792 per month. Okay, so no matter what the price does, you're getting 27.92 Polkadot per month. So at 35.85, so if you had to do this today, right now, you're 35.85. You're going to be getting just over $1,001 per month in cash flow. Okay, so right now, snapshot, boom, you're going to be making 12% yield. So, but as I said, it's highly likely, like I would say an 85% probability we'll see at least $100 by the end of this year. So all of a sudden your 2792 times 100, you're going to be making $2,792 per month, and this is going to increase over time. If you look at any major crypto over a 5-year period, it's gone up 10x pretty much. And so I'm going to be sitting on my Polkadot personally until, you know, at least $500, and I probably won't even sell, because at $500, let's, in this example, 2792 times 500, you're going to be making 13,960 per month cash flow. Now, and you have to look at long term, because that's what you're doing with property. You're buying a property for at least 10 to 30 years or more. So you've got to look at crypto in the same time frame, and it's highly likely, even if Polkadot, you know, becomes sort of a sideshow, it's still going to be dragged up as a global market cap increases. So can you make 13k from one house per month, 13 grand per month from one house, from $100,000 house? No. What is the PAG, the potential appreciation gain of that house over a 10-year period? It's not going to, you know, well, let's do the maths. If it, let's say it does get to 100, in fact, let's say it doesn't even get to 500. Let's say it gets $100, okay? Over 10 years, oh Jesus Christ, we can do this by the end of the year. 2,789 times 100. Well, all of a sudden, your Polkadot is now worth just under 300k. So this is a better cash flow opportunity than any property thing that you could, you know, show me. And here's the thing: why don't you do this now, whilst we're in the middle of a raging bull market, and then take your cash flow to then go and buy properties if you want. Go and then harbour go and then build your property portfolio from the cash flow that your staking portfolio is chucking out, or go and buy Tesla stock or Palantir or whatever floats your fancy. So it's not versus, it's either or. Do both. Or even better, you can borrow off it. You can't do self-liquidating loans with crypto, whereas you can with property, but you can with crypto. Let's take 100,000. Let's do this $100,000 thing again. Let's say you wanted to get some leverage. Let's say you put your $100,000 into a crypto DeFi plate, so decentralized finance platform, something like Aave. So there's you. You can pop your dot. So you got all that dot. So how much dot have you got? I forgot. 2,789. So you plonk all of that 2,789 dot as collateral. You can then, if you wanted, borrow up to say 75%, or let's call it 50%. So you borrow $50,000 of whatever you want, pounds, sterling, stable coins, whatever. And let's say you go and blow this all on boats and hoes and just absolutely ruin it. So you're like, you're stuck. So you're stuck there with a 50% LTV loan to value. But don't forget, you got the PAG. So this is a self-liquidating loan. So let's say I'm correct and it goes up to $100. So now you got, what did you say, 2,000? Yeah. So if it goes to $100 per dot, this collateral, this then turns into $278,000. But what is the loan to value? The loan to value has dropped all on its own, because now the loan, what was that, 50k divided by the new collateral, your LTV is dropped to 17%. And as Polkadot goes up in price, so too does the loan to value. And that's even though you blew your 50k. Now let's say you weren't an idiot and you put that 50k into something else. Hell, you could put that in the property if you wanted. But let's say you put that back into dot. You bought more dot. So you bought half of that. I can't do that in my head. So 2,789 divided by 2. So you bought 50k's worth of dot, 1394. And so you then sat there on that amount of Polkadot from this loan. Well, guess what? If we go to $100, all of a sudden you've now got 139k worth of Polkadot over here. You've got 278 over here. So in theory, what is your LTV? Plus 139. So you sat there on 417. But what was the loan? Sorry, 50k divided by 417. Oh, wow. Now you've got 11.99% LTV. This loan is going to erode itself over time. So if you're looking in time frames, property time frames, crypto is going to literally dick over everything. It really will. You sound like Peter Schiff, mate. I feel like you've watched one video of Peter Schiff.
If I was just going to flip a coin up or down on Bitcoin, I guess I'd pick.
This guy is the biggest idiot on the planet when it comes to crypto. And you just do some Google searches on all the bullshit he said. So he says, all my tweets age well. So in 2013, he said, think of buying Bitcoin instead, blah, blah, blah. Gold. So he's saying, like, instead of that person property, this person is gold. Gold has basically done nothing over 10 years. And yeah, so over, in that 7-year period of these tweets, gold's gone up 35%. Bitcoin has gone up 872%. Bear in mind, Bitcoin is the slowest moving crypto out there. As I said, just this year alone, since January, my whole portfolio is up 700, 900%. And I'm only playing with cryptos on page 1 of CoinMarketCap. So the lowest coin, I've got is like at least $1 billion project. So I'm not playing with fire here. I'm not dicking around with shit coins on page 67 of CoinMarketCap with, a $5 million market cap. Let's have a look at some of these tweets. Peter Schiff, don't make the mistake of buying Bitcoin below $3,800. There's so many. There's one, yeah. Look at this one. This is what he said in June 2020. I highly doubt it, but the problem is that Bitcoin is highly unlikely to ever hit $50,000, so we'll never actually know for sure. And look at this. Now that Bitcoin has hit 50,000, I must admit a move up to 100k can't be ruled out. However, a move to zero can't be ruled out either. While a temporary move up to 100k is possible, a permanent move down to zero is inevitable. Future tweet. Yeah. And here's the other thing. I had a little chat, sort of a debate against an IFA that I moved my military pension into a SIP. I left the military prematurely. I just wanted out. And so I forfeited all my sort of pension. And I ended up with £8,800 in my SIP. So against my IFA's recommendations, he said, "Oh, don't put it into crypto." Well, in May 2020, I put that £8,800, this is pounds, not dollars, into an Ether tracker. And guess what? My SIP is now 121k, 122k. Has your property gone up 1,283% since May 2020? No. Now, a few other things I want to point out here. You're completely forgetting that the global monetary base is expanding like we've never seen before. The US expanded the currency supply by 25%. The Bank of England expanded the pound currency supply by 16% last year. The cost of capital globally is 15%. That means, on average, the global currency supply is expanding 15% per year. So if you're making 15% ROI from your investments, your properties, great, but you're actually making 0% net gain. You're actually breaking even. This is why I do not get out of bed for anything less than 25% ROI, because you have to make 15% just to break even. And if you're not an investor, that's even worse. You're losing 15% per year in purchasing power and net wealth. So here's the UK one. What else have I got to show you? And so here's the thing. I've done all sorts of presentations. Just check out all the other videos on my YouTube channel. This is the US. Like, it took 224 years to put $5 trillion on the planet. Then took another 11 years to put another $5 trillion. Then another 8 years to put another $5 trillion on. Then 2 years to put another $5 trillion on. Biden's got his stim pack already approved. He's got another $6 trillion coming within a year. The trajectory is upwards. Your house, no matter what fancy property portfolio you have, will not keep up with inflation. Real inflation, not nominal inflation. The only thing that keeps up with this is business and crypto. So I'm in the whole world of wealth generation. So at the moment, we're in a strong crypto cycle. So guess what? I'm all in on crypto. But you have to look at, in fact, this is already a half an hour video. Let's not turn this into an hour. I hope this makes sense. Again, I really must reiterate. What is it? Have we finished?
If you want to be safe, if you want to get substantial growth, create wealth in a safe way, then property investing is the way to do it.
Is not the... Is that, no.
Do it. I'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow evening. Speak to you then.
Well, I wonder what he... Yeah, I wasn't obviously invited to that. But, yeah, I hope this helps. I could go on a lot longer. I really could. Yeah. If you want to just break even against the global expansion of 15%, get into property. Yeah, it's... I mean... In terms of real estate, the world is moving to the metaverse. So I actually think, contrary to common belief, there isn't a population crisis. So yes, we're at close to 8 billion people on the planet, and it is going to balloon slightly higher, but we've actually got a systemic crisis that we have a top-heavy demographic. The global demographic is getting like this. And so when we've got baby... Yeah, so long story short... the human population will be declining, over the next 30 odd years, not increasing to for infinity like a lot of scientists are saying, or not scientists, pundits. Actual environmental scientists are saying we've got a top heavy population, and sustaining population numbers is actually going to be the thing that is going to worry the human race in the future. And therefore, over the next 50 years, property prices, I think land prices are not... I used to be very bullish on land prices long term, but now not so much. This is like another 1 hour session. No, don't worry. Future real estate is in the metaverse, not in the real world. Anyway, gotta love you and leave you. I hope that helps. And again, I'm not trying to start any beef or anything. This is just purely educational. I hope it's helped.